Hey everyone, it's Alonda. Today I am with Chris at the DexaFit location. He is getting his scan. So I don't think he's going to let me record in there, but we will see. And this is the intro to my video. A DEXA scan can provide a highly precise breakdown of a person's total body fat percentage and lean mass. It is a fast, painless image that uses low-dose x-rays to measure bone mineral density. It also includes fat, muscle mass, and many other health markers. It is known as the gold standard. Well, y'all, I did it. I came back for another DEXA scan. And while I may be looking great on the outside, true transformation, the inside still needs some work. Let's get into it. All right, so welcome back. This video is meant to hold myself accountable and also explain why I will not be doing a DEXA scan anytime soon. So let's backtrack. Back in March of 2025, I took my first DEXA scan. That is a year into my weight loss journey. At that point, I had lost 70 pounds, so I was feeling really good. And when I did the DEXA scan, I got a grade of a B. Now, my starting weight again was 264.7. Again, I had already lost 70 pounds when I did the scan. But a B sounded pretty good to me, pretty good. So it was a 2-for-1 deal. I think I paid $199 or $179 for the 2 sessions. I was instructed to come back within about 6 months to redo the scan. I went back in August of 2025, did the second scan, and I got a B minus. Confused? Yes. I was so confused because I spent May, June, and July working out. I went to the gym 5 days a week. We were there an hour and a half to 2 hours, strength training, doing all kinds of activities, trying to be proactive in this GLP-1 weight loss journey. So when I found out that I had gained in fat and lost in muscle, I was confused. Like, make it make sense. Make it make sense. So I revamped, gave myself permission to just be. And then from August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, I chilled. I watched what I ate. Like when I said I revamped, I focused on my dietary because by that point I was frustrated with the physical aspect. I'd done all this physical work and here I am gaining fat and losing muscle. So I do understand now what that means. So I had put my body in a calorie deficit to the point where my body was afraid to let anything go. It's very easy for our bodies to take in fat and store it. Storing fat is easy. It just is. Storing muscle takes some work. But when you're already not eating enough, your body doesn't have the extra energy to try to save the muscle. It's not going to determine which one is better. Ooh, let's lose the fat and keep the muscle. The body is in starvation mode. It's in survival mode. What can we do to sustain to the next day? So oftentimes your body will hold on to fat and let go of the muscle. Make sense? So again, for several months, I did nothing. I was frustrated. I was like, bump this. I'm just going to work on my diet because they always say you can't outwork a bad diet or you can't outrun a bad diet or something like that. So I worked on my diet. Then in between, I would do these little workout sessions. So like in September, I did a workout session, a package. And then in, I think, November, I did another workout package. And then in January, I did another workout package. And these were usually package deals where you got X amount of sessions for X amount of dollars. So you might get personal training sessions, 6 of them for $150, which breaks down to pretty reasonable for a personal trainer. Can't do it all the time though. My budget doesn't work like that. So in April, I found another package deal and I said, okay, 2 days a week for a full month, I'm gonna go work out. I'm gonna work out twice a week. I'm gonna walk twice a week. I did that, and I gave myself an in-body scan. I love me an in-body. Matter of fact, I think I have like 12 different in-body scans in there. An in-body is just a tidbit down from a DEXA scan, but you're not paying that price tag. So I can do a in-body scan for like $10, or at the place I was actually doing my workouts, it's free. FYI, there are many smart scales out there that will give you the same equivalent. Right now, I've been loving my Renpho scale, and I'll put a little picture right here. It's a Renpho Mortis scan, Nova scan, and that gives you the breakdown that an in-body would. So at this point, I really don't have to go get an in-body because my scale will actually do it for me. Now, where I train, like I said, they will do them because it helps us kind of know where we're going as our body starts to reposition. So far, so good. So in April, I started back up twice a week, exercising at the place is called Body 20. I'll link a little video up here in case you're curious, like, what the hell is Body 20? Watch a little video. It's a 20-minute workout with the equivalent of 2 hours in the gym. And I had already revamped my diet, so I was good on that, but I had paired up with a new dietitian who was able to see my food and kind of critique me on it. So I'm getting it from both sides. That was April. So from April to May, 1 full month, I had lost a little over 2 pounds of fat, and I had gained in lean muscle. Gained 3 pounds in lean muscle. So high five yourself, girl. You're doing it. You're doing it. Well, in the beginning of July, because again, I knew that in August I was going to go do my other DEXA scan. I just hadn't paid for it because I was waiting for a deal. This girl loves a deal. But in early July, I received an email. And it said, you get a free DEXA scan. And it's with a partnership with a spa here that I've used before. It's just ironic that they paired up at the same time that in my mind I was thinking, I'm going to do another DEXA scan. It's free. So I go and I also give the DEXA scan discount to Chris. I'm like, hey, we can both go and do these scans and see how our bodies are doing. He's actually been losing weight, and so it kind of gave him a baseline for his own journey. I get there feeling all good because I already know what the in-body says. And I was so confused. I was confused because my body fat went up, but this time I'm knowledgeable. I know that I've been working out. I know what my in-body says, so how? And my technician asked, well, how's your diet? Could it be your diet? Are you having a bad diet? And I was like, oh, no, my diet's good. So I pulled up the pictures from when I send it to the dietitian. My technician is like, okay, yeah, that's great. Okay. So from April to roughly the beginning part of June, you're doing really great. That's great. But what were you doing from August until April? And that hit me in the face. I mean, because I was playing around. That's what I was doing. I was playing around. I was so mad about my previous DEXA scan that I was just like, ew, I'm gonna just do what I feel like doing and make the scale move. I'm not worried about my body anymore. I just want the scale to move. Well, that's when my body said, you know what? You did all this work this summer. Let's start body recomposition. Let's do that. And so that's where I have been almost a year. My body has been going through body recomposition. But I go back to my DEXA scan for July. As I'm sitting there were questions being asked of me because, again, I'm showing my proof. I'm showing. I've been doing all the things, at least for the last 2 months. I've been doing all the things. How is it that my DEXA scan is going the opposite direction? And it was myself, it was Chris, and the technician, and there was a technician in training all in the room. And they got to hear me roar. Because I was pissed. Now, unfortunately, once it boiled down, because the session is roughly an hour, they schedule about an hour, even though the DEXA scan really itself is 6 minutes. I heard some people say it's 8 minutes, and my first 2 were 8 minutes, but this last one was 6 minutes. It was quick and easy. Then we went over the report, and that's where I used up all my time because I had questions, I had concerns, I had rebuttals. But what it all boiled down to is our body starts to store fat for 4 reasons. Let me get my little cheat sheet. Y'all, I was like, say what? 1, chronic overeating without muscle stimulation, eating too much. I don't have that issue. I have the proof of it. Low protein intake. Yeah, they wanted me at 150. I was playing around in 115 to 130 most days. I can take ownership of that. I need to do better. But my nutritionist and my dietitian both said they needed to see me eat more fruits. Eat more fruits, eat more fruits. So instead of having that midday protein shake, I went to fruit. So that eliminated one of my 30 ounce or 30 grams of protein, which would have put me at 150. So you see what happened? I was doing the 150 every day, but then I took out that protein shake so I can actually focus on eating vegetables and fruit because I was lacking in that. So I'll take ownership of that one. Inadequate or improper training. That wasn't me, but it was me. Because again, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. So for 8 months, I really wasn't doing a lot. I was poo-putting. Whenever there was a little special, I would go work out. No special, no workout. I was not consistent. And we've heard consistency is key. Okay? 4, high stress and poor sleep. Oh, when they said to sleep, I was like, oh no, I don't have that issue. This girl goes to sleep. I sleep. I sleep. Look at my Oura ring. Look at my watch. I sleep. I don't have that problem. But the stress, I do have that problem. And stress causes cortisol levels to increase. Now, I've had 2 different cortisol tests. One was in February, and then one was in May. They wanted to make sure I didn't have Cushing, and I don't. But my levels aren't bad, but you can see a little bit of an increase. Now, I do have some personal things going on in my life that are extremely stressful. But again, we all have to figure out a way to handle stress. My old way of handling stress, overeating and shopping. I'm good on both of those. But that doesn't mean that my body's not still experiencing stress. So back in February, my doctor did put me on Wellbutrin. I said, God dang, what's the word? Wellbutrin, something like that. And I have to thank Moji for that. Because my telehealth doctor heard what was going on with me. I explained my life with all the stress going on, and that I was still trying to figure out my whole therapist part. And so he put me on Wellbutrin. I cannot say it. I take it, but I can't say it. So that was a positive. Now, I told you there were 4 reasons why you might start gaining fat, even though you're trying to do everything in your power to not gain fat. Well, there's a mystery 5th one that doesn't account for everybody. But for a 49-year-old female, you might be in that corner. And that is perimenopause hormonal changes. Yeah. That's something I did not account for, but I'm definitely dealing with. Now, every Friday I take my injection and I show my belly or I show my arm and I do my injection. It's all on the internet. Lately, I have noticed that that little line at the lower part of my belly, just under my navel, has been getting darker. Now, most women would associate that with pregnancy. Oh, George is Nelly. I'm not pregnant. I'm not pregnant. But my body is showing me signs that I am going through hormonal changes. Yeah. I noticed in one of my other videos as I was editing, I'm like, why is my line standing out so much? And so I went back another week and the line was still there. It just wasn't as prominent. Then when I did my clothing haul video, I noticed it again. And so I brought it up to my doctor and they said, oh, it's probably your hormones. You are perimenopause, but I am not a candidate for hormone replacement therapy. So I know a lot of you are going to be in the comments, oh, I want to take hormone replacement therapy. I can't. I have a history and I'm just not a good candidate for it. So I will be meeting with my OBGYN. We were scheduled anyway because it's my yearly with her. School teacher. Y'all know what it's like. During the summer, we try to get all our appointments in. So she and I are going to be assessing some of my options because we know my hormones are what they are. I'm just at that age. It's going to be harder for me to do what I'm trying to do. Even if I moved up to 15 milligrams, that does not guarantee that my hormones are going to play in the game. They might still be sitting on the sideline going, I'm not going, no, I'm not going up there to bat, It might actually play out that way. But I can continue to do everything in my power. So I'm continuing with my nutrition. I am continuing with my exercise. And I just have to try to handle my stress in the best way possible. And one way that is a positive way is to exercise and to walk, which are two things I'm already doing. So yeah. Now, you might be curious. Well, how did he go with his in-body scan? Well, I had a C plus. He caused a ruckus in his. I mean, kid you not, everybody was talking because he had an A plus. And apparently those are kind of rare. But I'll show a little picture. Yeah, he had an A plus rating. He is like 174. He's 6'2", so he's on the leaner side. And he has 13% body fat. I'll say it again. 13% body fat. So they did state that they wanted to see him gain some more muscle, which that's basically all he has is skin and muscle. But there was one more thing. Oh, he basically has 0.1% of visceral body fat to lose. He's already in the good range, but to slide him over into the middle of the good range, he needs to lose 0.1%. And again, they were all like, wow, that's amazing. And I'm like, so that is the update on my in-body scale, my in-body scan. My hormones are what they are. I need to continue with my consistency because we know that it does work. And I also know what happens when I don't work. Everything goes out of whack. So I need to continue with my 2 times a week working out and my walking in order for my body to kind of do what it needs to do. Now, with all this being stated, I'm going to lean very heavily on my in-body scans and body scale. I'm going to lean very heavy on those because those day-to-day or week-to-week in my situation viewings will allow me to truly see what's going on in real time and be able to adjust and tweak. Whereas with the DEXA scan, you can go monthly. The guy actually showed me the package deal, the $500 package deal.
The paper just gives you the numbers. You know what I mean? So once you understand the numbers, though, we have a scan and go type of packet where you can buy like four visits you can use for any of them for like $500, and you can use them whenever you want. They're like prepaid, so that comes out to like $125 a scan. Yeah. So once you understand how to interpret it, then you won't need as much description of what it is because you at that point you probably already did it 4 or 5 times. So.
I got you. Why would I spend $500 to come in here and get mad? So, and they do have deals from time to time. That was explained to me, but I'm going to go ahead and utilize the items that I've already invested in. And then when I'm done with my GLP-1 weight loss journey, when I've hit goal weight, whenever that'll be, because again, I just told you, I have stress and I have hormones. I will then follow up with another DEXA. Just at this point, I don't see the point to do a whole bunch and then go back months later. I'll rather just do what I'm doing and check in from time to time with the resources that I have. I hope that makes sense to you. I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. Also, FYI, ladies, if you are in the realm of age 30 to 40, it is very natural as our hormones start to shift that we start to lose lean muscle mass. Just FYI. So I also have that going against me. My body's naturally wanting to do that. We know the hormone shifts are happening. I have the line, and I normally talk about what the name of that line is, and I just can't think of what it is right now. I don't have any teen moms to go over my lesson plans with, so it's not playing on my head. I'll put the word right here. But the reality is I am going to keep doing what I'm doing. because I know it's working. I can see physically it's working. The issue is stuff going on in the inside. And as much as I want to control it, I can't. So here's a recap of my DEXA. My July DEXA scan was a C+. When we look at the trends, we're starting from the first one, which was in March of 2025, and then it went down in August, and unfortunately, it's continuing to drop down. When we look at my body fat percent, it still needs focus, but now we know what to do. Lean mass is elite. However, I did lose some, so I need to work on continuing to gain and not lose. The way to do that is continuing to strength train. Not take an 8-month pause, but keep strength training. My consistency from April to May was proof.